recently, as I was saying, I've seen a lot of Nigerian comedians and people in entertainment really making conscious efforts to dress like women, really tying buba, even people in the village, And I've seen an increase in bomb operations, eyelashes, I've also heard that there's an increase in gender japar. I think if I may call it that way too. You understand? If you're unsure of your gender, the British government, you have an easy way there. But let me start with the ladies first. Love, is this just a fashion trend? Is this we Nigerians trying to catch up again? I find it unusual. Plus, everywhere I see it, I have to say, the Nigerian one looks out of place. Seeing man with buba, a rapper, but it could be their life. But let me come to you and say, what is the craze for this?
I think the thing is, normally, I mean, no offense to Nigerians, but we're a bit of copycats. We just like to trend. Like, if someone is doing it, why not us? And honestly, like, talking about the artists, they're doing so well internationally. I think maybe they just get to a stage where it's like, oh, I have so much money, so I better just do something unusual. But for the ladies, I think it's just that whole competition with your fellow lady, or maybe you're doing it for a man. But there's actually a trend now where if Nigerian women are 100, at least 60 of them have actually undergone operation. And the operation is because usually growing up, I knew that when you were sick, you go to the hospital. When you hear about surgery, you run away from it. But nowadays, you literally send yourself for surgery. And then most times the surgery gone wrong because it's keeping up, with the Kardashians, as it were, because it's not just a one-day thing.
Yes.
You have to go for touch-up yearly. So, it's just giving yourself
true.
more problems than it's supposed to be.
I'm glad you've said that. Musa, I'm going to come straight to you. Have you noticed, just as a man, because as a Nigerian man, I noticed bomb operation on maybe people like the Kardashians and stuff. I have not noticed it on Nigerians and stuff. Do you notice it?
For me, I've noticed so many abnormality among Nigerians. But again, it's an exposure of the backwardness of the judicial system. Because if you now have difficulty redefine gender clarity, then it shows there is a problem. And that problem will not just stop by forcing people to start dressing like men if they want to be men or women, but the government the policymakers need to make us understand that if you do this, this is the outcome. If you do that, that is the outcome. And I just think there's a social boredom in Nigeria that requires social reengineering.
Just me. I like that very much.
I don't know any other way to put it.
Just me. Let you respond to that. Do you think these are causes of social boredom, as Musa put them, that 60% of Nigerian girls, as Love said, are having operations, especially in unsafe, unregulated, and unreported deaths, because these are Nigerians in different places. Do you think it's social boredom?
I think it's social boredom. And also, they're attention seekers as well. Because I don't know why a man will wake up in the morning and wear tie wrapper and wear boba and wear skirts and all whatnot. I know, in London here, we're not in London, but
in the Western, yes.
In the Western world, I don't want to mention names.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them dressed like that.
Yes.
So, and sometimes, not all Nigerians as well, they are copycats. Yeah. They want to copy what's happening and draw attention, and then it is made a big thing and stuff like that. So it's just, honestly, I can't understand why a man would dress like that. Then for the women, I don't know why they are not accepting who they are. They feel they are doing it for the men. They are not doing it for themselves. I have read and I've seen someone say, I'm no longer as upset, kind of like my skin color. Most of them are even kind of like bleaching, taking tablets to bleach their skin because you hardly find a black young woman or a black aged lady in Nigeria nowadays. They're all bleaching their skin now. They say they're doing it because of the men. Men are not looking at the dark skin anymore. They're looking at the bleached ones with, big backsides and fuller chests.
This is true.
And
This
stuff.
is
And it's just, I don't know what to say about that, honestly. It's really, really alarming.
I'm with you. I
And
want to
probably is a mental disbalance as well.
it might social boredom, mental disbalance. We're coming to it. I want to see what you've got. Yeah. because now we have this gender jakbari.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not it's not uncommon if you're in the Nigerian community. What I find is it's possible you can deceive the first stage of trying to say maybe you're gay or something when you're in Nigeria and then you're given visa. I don't think the British are crazy enough. You will be gay.
You can't lie.
I don't think because I have seen enough of them. Because we're talking about Jakpari now. If you look out there, there's more Nigerians just coming in that a Nigerian that has just come in. Yeah. And so if you look at copycat, if you look at an average gay person there, you will see their whole Western approach. You will see it's like they know why they're gay. If you see the Nigerian guy who just come out, it's not looking good. Love, you do enough of this subject. That's why I'm asking you. Do they get away with it? I don't think, or they actually go down that route just to get into the country.
Honestly, from stories I've heard, like in the real sense, they are not necessarily gay. But it's a case of if this is what will make me, seek asylum or stay back, why not? If not, I'll just, sit back and become gay. And like you rightly said, they really have to be, because they have to prove that they actually, have that sort of like traits in there. So you can't just wake up and say I'm gay. Like,
in my own opinion, women are just the cause of that problem. If you see women run a man down without a proper job, at times you will just ask yourself, I think this one is better off just going to do this thing, no? But you say you laugh at that. But you can now see the social stigmatization. The day that man quarrel with his friend, they go to join together, the same man will come and tell his wife. I don't want everything God they do. Now useless man, no. Why they wear pampers?
Oh, but here you've raised the point.
Now you can, but you might laugh at that. But if you go into community proper integration, you can now see why certain things are happening out of ignorance.
No, let me.
In the UK, there's a policy. If you want to be transgender, you follow this route. If you want to be gay, you follow this route. But in our own, it's always find that if 20 people go attend the meeting, everybody present, and what they say then talk.
No, but it's fine. But let me say this to you that I'm taking from where Musa is taking from that even in the history of gay and transgender, from being something being done in the background, it has now become in the front, in the limelight. Now if I see these Nigerians, especially the men dressing as Boba and stuff, I would refuse to almost. She as Musa is talking, I think there's a dark side to Nigerian, maybe rich men or stuff. We like to just call everything ritual. You understand? We just want to put it there.
Even the LGBT issue up in Jos, if you go to Rukuba village and the Lord, is part of those people culture. Bisexualism is not strange to Africans. It is not at all. If you go into certain culture up north, you will discover so many things. But what I think we are doing wrongly is the implication of what we are doing.
Okay,
woman will forgive the husband for following another man, but will not forgive the man for following another woman. Sisters, correct me, please.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's leave it.
I haven't got any contribution to that.
where did that come from?
No, but let's talk. Let's not go away because that will take us to where we have not developed to that extent. We have not developed. But let's come back to it now. Speaking of all this. For the men's side, we see they're doing it for various reasons. But for the women, the health implications of this on regulated procedures, whether it's breast enhancement, whether it's bomb enhancement,
Yeah.
and the death rate amongst Nigerians. Even Stella Obasanjo died.
Oh yes.
Let's leave that. But what I'm saying now is the unregulated practices. How much awareness need to come to that, or is it too late?
Oh.
What do you think, Joseph?
I mean, it's not too late. Maybe the young ones coming up, they need to be educated, because I believe with the social media, they are exposed to it. They can see it. They can see the consequences of
Doing it.
doing it. So I'm sure they will learn. They will learn with that.
Love. They are more like they're more likely, like you said, but they're more likely leaning towards Bobrisky. And people like that, they're more likely leaning towards doing more.
Yeah.
And will it take, the last time you spoke, you said if we took the Afrobeat superstars to encourage the youths to bring them, we need to have, will it take somebody like Bobrisky or somebody like, many of them, Regina Askia, many of them do.
Yeah.
Will it take one of them to come out and make this their cause for us to get some awareness in this issue?
Well, the thing is, if someone like Bobrisky, with all that he brings up, can become a superstar, then which artists? I mean, let's face it, the Davidos and all these artists like proudly smoke marijuana in videos.
Yeah.
Now, maybe 20 years ago, that would have been a problem, but the same role models don't even really care. They just do whatever they want to do, and obviously our kids that are coming up sing their songs, watch their videos, and then that's a norm. So if we look at it, who are the superstars that, still sort of like remember our culture and would actually talk to these kids? If you find such people, they will become good role models. But the ones we have now, unfortunately, don't really care. Because if kids keep watching them doing all of this, watch Bobrisky, he's a superstar. He goes for events as a woman. People are like, oh my God, he's so made up. People like such things. They like fame. And once famous people do these things, it's over. The kids emulate it.
Well, you can see where
I want to ask you: Are we out of role models? If you listen to her, let's face it. We're not going to talk about the older generation. We're talking about the ones that can influence the next generation. Are we out of role models?
No, we are not out of role model. What has happened in the case of the social environment in Nigeria is it is not police in any way. If it was police, the public prosecutor would have told us, we think this behavior is not right. This is the sanction for this. And you push that into the sentencing guidelines. When you put that into sentencing guidelines, you see, like America, you don't just come and say, oh, you are doing this. You look into it. You look into the social implication. In Nigeria, the only implication in Nigeria right now is if it doesn't bring money, don't do it. If it brings money, go ahead.
Let me ask you, Josephine, final question here. The Western world that we're looking for, as Musa said, is not policed. The Western world is not policed. And even if they police many aspects, the social fences are not policed, because the Western world are the ones that push, you understand, these things out. What options do we have? If the Western world is not policing, does that mean, because we copy a lot, we will never police?
A big one.
Yeah.
I think we just have to keep doing what we are doing now to create
Awareness. Yeah.
That's all I would say, because right now the society is sinking. Like we're discussing now. Who are the role models? Who are the role models? Even the female ones. Who. I don't want to call names, but
no, but it's time to talk. Like, we don't have. If you look in our politics, do we have any role models?
I don't think so.
If you look in our entertainment, do we have any role models? If we look in our professional scene, away from the two, do we have any role models? When I see all these guys, so-called big Nigerian names, they don't look like role models to me. I'd go as far as the Otedolas. They are not role models. You understand? And I don't want them to believe they are, because we can see what's behind, what they're leaving behind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for today. We'll grab some pictures and grab some water and whatever is left. Thank you very much.